Now, going back to our top story, nurses in Nandi County have downed their tools, paralyzing operations at Kapsabet County Referral Hospital, where security officers have been deployed to guard the premises, and patients visiting the facility are currently being turned away. Like I promised, we now have Agnes Wangeci, who is the National Treasurer at the Kenya National Union of Nurses. Agnes, thank you very much for joining us. The first question, why all these strikes in the last couple of days, and now we have Nandi County joining in on that particular list?
Yeah, the strikes we are witnessing will continue for as long as there are no structures in the county government. When they devolved the health, they said that they were ready. The county government said that they were ready to manage health. But what we are seeing now is a contrast, because they are even unable to pay their salaries. How do they expect the staff to survive without salaries? They gave a circular at the beginning of this month that the salaries will be delayed. But I thought the circulars were given to the wrong people. They should give the circulars to the supermarkets, to the schools, to the matatos, because the matatos and the rados don't know that your salary is delayed. So they have actually reduced our staff to hawkers. It's like we are working like cashews.
You've mentioned something to do with, the government. Do you think that, these indications, will maybe boil down to some of these functions being taken back to the national government? Do you think that could be a solution?
We have always said from the beginning that we want the human resource to be managed by the national government, because once you pay the staffs, you have already motivated them. But if you don't pay the staffs, then the services will have to be down. So if the human resource was taken back to the national government, I am sure they would have paid their staffs. I am working, for example, at Madara National Teaching and Referral Hospital, which was actually not devolved, and I was able to get my salary in time. So I also believe if the others are managed by the national government, they will be able to get their salaries on time, and these types of strikes will not be witnessed.
Now, Agnes, yesterday it was Nyeri and Uasin Gishu counties. Today, Nandi County has joined the list, like I mentioned. Are we likely to see more and more counties, or nurses across the country joining in on the strike from where you sit?
In fact, this is just a beginning. Yesterday, we went to Kajiado, and if we would have told them to come out yesterday, they didn't even want us to give a notice. They wanted to come out, so we have given a 7-day strike, so they'll be coming out next week on Tuesday. Nairobi gave a strike notice yesterday, so they'll be coming out next week. So this is just a beginning, and we are warning, we expect a lot more. Our Kenyans are going to suffer, because it's actually the common person who is suffering. It is not those who are in power.
Agnes, what exactly are your complaints? Of course, you've talked about the July salaries being, taking too long to, to come to be paid, to the workers. But what other complaints do you have as a union?
The other complaints we have is, since the county governments took over the health sector, there hasn't been any promotions. People have stagnated from where they left the national government, so nobody has moved from any job group to another one. Like, for example, if you want we went to school and did an upgrading course, your status have not changed. The TSU is what it was before. You have not been designated. So actually, promotions, redesignations, if you want to move from one county to another, it is not possible. And harmonization of salaries and other services, because allowances. When the national government devolved the health sector to the county government, we found people who were already working in the county governments before, like the local government workers, who had their salaries, and those ones who are devolved are a total contrast. You find a doctor who is working with the national government, who was actually devolved to the county, is getting a house allowance of 12,000, and the supporting staff who is working at the county is getting 17,000. Really, how do we expect these people to perform the same duties at the same level?
Agnes, do you think there's ever going to be an end to this? Because, this keeps on recurring time and time again, or, nurses going on strike. Now we have, 3 counties already where, health services have been paralyzed. Are we likely to have an end to this, especially thinking about the future and what is happening in the counties?
The end to this will only come if the government is able to see what its countrymen are going through. The ball starts at the door of the Mr. President, and we are asking Mr. President, our humble request that Kenyans are suffering. It is time to listen to the cries of the Kenyans, and I can assure you that unless health sector, the human resource is taken back to the government and structures are put into place, I am telling you that Kenyans would embrace for worse times than even what we are experiencing today. This one I can assure you, because for so long as the staffs are demoralized, you don't expect them to give services.
Agnes, are you saying that, until your demands are met, patients in hospitals, will continue to suffer?
Yes, yes, I can assure you that, because it was not timely. Kenya is not ready for devolved health. We are not ready for devolution. We did it hastily without considering its effects of the common person.
Right. Thank you very much, Agnes Munderu, who is the National Treasurer at the Kenya National Union of Nurses, giving us an outlook from their end of what has become, a complete crisis in the health sector. 3 counties, that is Nyeri, Uasin Gishu, and of course in Nandi County today, have gone on strike. Patients have been turned away and have been told to keep off hospitals because they cannot receive any kind of medical assistance.